Imagine this. You walk into a job interview. Your hands are a little sweaty. Your heart is beating fast. The interviewer smiles and says, "Tell me about yourself." You know the answer. You know your own life. But suddenly, nothing. Your mind goes completely blank.
Oh no, that sounds exactly like me.
And here's the truth. There are only 10 questions. Almost every job interview in English, no matter the company, no matter the industry, comes back to the same 10 questions. Once you know how to answer these 10, you're ready for almost any interview in English.
So if someone watches all 10, they walk into their next interview and they're not guessing anymore.
Exactly. But here's the honest part. Most people stop watching around question 3 or 4. And those are usually the same people who freeze on question 8 or 9, the hard ones, the ones about mistakes, difficult people, sudden change.
The ones that actually decide if you get the job.
Exactly. So today, we're going through all 10, one by one. And at the end, Michael and I are going to do a complete mock interview, question by question, so you can practice before Michael does.
Okay, Sarah, I'm nervous already.
Good, because we're going to turn that nervous feeling into confidence.
And I'm Michael.
Drop a comment and tell us where you're watching from. We've had learners comment from over 60 countries, and we read everyone. Okay, all 10 questions, real answers, and a full mock interview at the end. Let's begin with question 1. Michael, you're sitting in the interview room. The interviewer looks at you and says, "Tell me about yourself." Your turn.
Okay, my name is Michael. I'm 28 years old. I live in Chicago. I like watching movies, playing football, cooking, traveling.
Stop. This is exactly what many people do. They hear, "Tell me about yourself," and think the interviewer wants to know everything about them. They don't. This is a job interview, not a first date.
So I shouldn't talk about my hobbies?
You can, but this isn't the right moment for your life story. The interviewer wants a short, professional introduction. Who are you professionally? What experience do you have? What are you good at? And why are you interested in this position? Let's make it simple. 3 parts. Part 1, who you are. Part 2, your experience or skills. Part 3, why you're interested in this job. Start again.
Okay. My name is Michael, and I have 3 years of experience in customer service. I'm organized, friendly, and I enjoy helping customers. I'm interested in this position because I want to use my experience and continue growing professionally.
Much better. Short, clear, professional, and natural. Here's an easy formula. Present, past, future. First, what you do now. Then, your experience. Then, what you're looking for. For example, I'm currently working in customer service. I have 3 years of experience helping customers and solving problems. Now, I'm looking for an opportunity where I can develop my skills and take the next step in my career.
That sounds much more professional.
Exactly. And notice, you don't need difficult English. No fancy words. It sounds confident because it's organized.
What should I avoid?
Don't start with a long personal story. Well, I was born in Pakistan, then my family moved. That's way too much. The interviewer has limited time. Give them information that helps them understand why you're a good candidate. And don't memorize every word. If you forget one, you might panic. Instead, remember 3 ideas: experience, skills, reason for applying. Then speak naturally. Now it's your turn. Imagine I'm the interviewer, asking, "Tell me about yourself." Think about your answer. Don't worry about grammar, just speak. Ready? Here's a simple model answer. I'm currently working in customer service. I have 2 years of experience helping customers and solving problems. I'm organized, friendly, and a quick learner. I'm now looking for a new opportunity where I can grow and use my skills. You can change the job and experience to match your own situation. Question 2 sounds simple, but many people give a weak answer. The interviewer asks, "Why do you want this job?" Michael, what would you say?
Because I need a job.
Honest, but not the best answer.
Because the salary is good?
Also honest, but don't make salary your main reason.
So what should I say?
The interviewer wants to know if you actually understand the job and the company. Why this position? Why this company? Why are you a good match? Use a simple structure. I like, I can, I want. For example, I like what your company does, and I believe my customer service skills are a good match for this position. I also want to learn new skills and grow with the company.
That's easy to remember.
Exactly. You don't need to say, "I have always dreamed of becoming an employee at your prestigious organization because of your outstanding corporate philosophy."
That sounds like a robot.
Exactly. Speak like a real person. One more thing. Don't give the same answer to every company. Before your interview, do a little research. Look at their website, their values, the job description. Then connect that to your answer. For example, if you're applying to a company that helps small businesses, I really like the company's focus on helping small businesses. I enjoy working with people, and I think my communication skills would be useful here. I'm also excited to learn and grow with the team. That's much stronger than, "I just need a job." 3 phrases you can use in almost any interview. I'm interested in this position because. I believe my skills are a good match for. I'm excited about the opportunity too. These make your answer sound much more professional. Now, imagine you're applying for a customer service job. The interviewer asks, "Why do you want this job?" 5 seconds. Think. Now answer.
I want this job because I enjoy helping people, and I believe my communication skills are a good match for the position. I'm also excited to learn and grow with the company.
Great answer. And you can make it your own. Remember, you don't need perfect English. You need clear English, a clear idea, and confidence.
I'm starting to feel less nervous already.
Good, but we're just getting started. Before we go further, let's talk about culture. Because in the US, an interview isn't just about what you say, it's about how you say it. 3 quick rules. Rule 1, be on time or 5 to 10 minutes early. Arriving late can hurt you before you say a single word. Rule 2, keep your answers short. American interviewers prefer direct, concise answers over long stories. 30 to 60 seconds per answer is a good target. Rule 3, eye contact and a smile, even over video calls. It signals confidence. Because the next question makes a lot of job seekers uncomfortable. What is your greatest weakness? And trust me, you don't want to answer, "I'm a perfectionist." Let's talk about what to say instead. Okay, Michael. The interviewer smiles and asks, "What is your greatest weakness?" Your answer?
I don't have any weaknesses.
No.
Okay, I'm a perfectionist.
Everyone knows that answer, which is exactly why you should be careful with it. It can sound like you're avoiding the question.
So what should I say?
Give them a real weakness, but one that doesn't destroy your ability to do the job. And then, this part is important. Show them you're working on it. Don't stop at, "I'm shy." Instead, "Sometimes I'm shy when I meet new people, but I'm working on becoming more confident by speaking up more and practicing conversations." Here's the formula. Weakness, what you're doing, improvement. For example, "Sometimes I focus too much on small details. I've been working on managing my time better and focusing on the most important tasks first." That's honest, specific, and shows growth. And remember, don't choose a weakness directly connected to the most important skill for the job. If you're applying for customer service, don't say, "I'm not good at talking to customers." Now, let's make it easier. What are your greatest strengths?
I work hard.
Okay, but let's make it stronger. Don't just name a strength, give a short example. One of my strengths is organization. I like planning my work and making sure I meet deadlines. Or communication. I enjoy working with people and making sure everyone understands what needs to be done. So the answer should be strength plus short explanation. And don't give 10 strengths. Choose 1 or 2 that match the position. Let's practice. What is one of your greatest strengths?
One of my greatest strengths is communication. I enjoy working with people, listening carefully, and solving problems.
Excellent. Now you try. Think of one strength: communication, organization, teamwork, problem solving, quick learner. Here's one possible answer. One of my greatest strengths is that I'm a quick learner. I enjoy learning new things, and I usually adapt quickly when I start a new task. Simple, natural, professional. Now a question that can be uncomfortable. Why are you leaving your current job? Michael?
My boss was terrible.
No.
My job was boring.
Also not great. Even if these things are true, an interview is not the place to complain about your previous company.
So what should I say?
Keep it positive, short, and focused on your future. I'm looking for a new opportunity where I can develop my skills and take on more responsibility. If you're growing, I've learned a lot in my current position, and I'm grateful for the experience. Now I'm ready for a new challenge. If you were laid off, the company went through some changes, and my position was eliminated. I'm now looking for a new opportunity where I can use my experience. Short, calm, no blame. Remember this. Don't focus on what you're leaving, focus on what you're moving toward. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Michael?
CEO of the company.
Maybe don't start there. The interviewer doesn't expect you to predict your entire future. They want to know if you have goals that make sense for the position. A simple answer. In 5 years, I hope to have developed strong skills in this field, taken on more responsibility, and grown within the company. And avoid making it sound like this job is just a temporary stop. For example, I want to start my own completely different business. Makes the interviewer think, why hire you? Instead, show that you're interested in learning and growing. Now, a different type of question. Behavioral questions. Tell me about a time you worked as part of a team. There's a simple way to answer. The STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. First, situation. What was happening? Then, task. What did you need to do? Then action. What did you do? Finally, result. What happened? Imagine you worked at a restaurant. At my previous job, our restaurant became very busy during the holiday season. That's the situation. Our team needed to serve many more customers while keeping service fast. That's the task. I helped organize the orders, communicated with the kitchen team, and helped my coworkers when they needed support. That's the action. As a result, we were able to serve customers more efficiently and keep waiting times under control. That's the result. So instead of saying, I'm good at teamwork, I'm proving it with a story. Exactly. And don't forget the result. Always tell the interviewer what happened because of your actions. That gives your story a strong ending. A few quick words from today. Weakness, an area where you need to improve. Strength, something you do well. Experience, the knowledge and skills you gain from doing something. Position, the job or role. Responsibility, something you're expected to do. And one very useful phrase, I'm looking for an opportunity to grow.
Sarah, what if I know my answer, but I still get nervous?
Don't try to speak faster. That's one of the biggest mistakes. Instead, take a breath, pause, speak slowly. A short pause is not a mistake. You can say, that's a great question. Let me think for a moment. Or, I'd say one of my strengths is... This gives you a little time to organize your answer. Let's make things a little more challenging. Tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult person. What would you say?
My coworker was impossible to work with. He was rude and I couldn't stand him.
Definitely not. You can explain what happened, but focus on your behavior, not attacking the other person. Use STAR, but show how you handled it professionally. Imagine a customer was angry because their order was late. At my previous job, I had a customer who was upset because their order was delayed. That's the situation. The customer was very frustrated and was speaking loudly. That's why it was difficult.
I stayed calm and listened carefully. I apologized for the delay and explained what I could do to help. That's the action. The customer became calmer, and we were able to solve the problem. That's the result.
That's a strong answer. You didn't say the customer was crazy or impossible. You showed you can stay professional under pressure. And here's the secret. The interviewer isn't interested in the difficult person. They're interested in you. Can you stay calm, communicate, listen, solve problems, control your emotions? So don't spend most of your answer describing how terrible the other person was. Spend it explaining what you did. Another question that can make people nervous. Tell me about a time you made a mistake. Michael?
I've never made a mistake.
Nobody believes that. The goal isn't to prove you've never made a mistake. It's to show you can take responsibility and learn from one. Imagine you accidentally sent a document with a small error. At my previous job, I once sent a report before checking one section carefully enough. I noticed the mistake shortly afterward. I told my manager, corrected the report, and sent the updated version. Since then, I've started using a checklist before sending important documents. Look at the final sentence. Since then, I've started using a checklist. That's the important part. You made a mistake, took responsibility, fixed it, and changed your behavior. And don't turn your mistake into someone else's fault, even if it's partly true. Instead, I should have double-checked the information before sending it. That shows maturity, and employers value people who can say, I made a mistake, I learned from it, and I improved. Tell me about a time you had to adapt to a change. Companies ask this because workplaces change. A new manager, a new system, a moved deadline. They want to know, can you stay calm when things change? Imagine your company suddenly changes its software. At first, I wasn't familiar with it, and I was worried it would slow down my work. That's the situation. I spent extra time learning the system and asked my coworkers questions when I needed help. That's the action. After a few weeks, I became comfortable with the new system and was able to complete my work normally. That's the result. It's okay to say, at first it was difficult. The important thing is showing that you adapted. A useful structure. At first, blank. But then I blank. For example, at first I wasn't comfortable with the new software, but then I practiced every day and became more confident. One more you may hear. What are your salary expectations?
Oh, that's a scary one.
Don't panic. If you know the normal salary range, give a reasonable range. Based on my experience and the responsibilities of the position, I'm looking for something in the range of $50,000 to $60,000 per year. Or I'm open to discussing the overall compensation package based on the responsibilities of the role. Do some research beforehand. And remember, salary isn't the only part of the package. There may be benefits, bonuses, paid time off, or insurance to consider.
What if someone doesn't have much experience?
You don't always need a previous full-time job. You can talk about school projects, volunteer work, internships, part-time jobs, or student organizations. For example, at school, I worked on a group project with 4 classmates. I was responsible for organizing our presentation and making sure everyone finished their part. That's a valid example. Think about what you've done, not just where you've been employed. Now, something extremely important. If the interviewer asks a question and you don't understand it, Don't panic, and don't just smile and say yes when you have no idea what they asked.
I've definitely done that.
Instead, politely ask them to repeat or clarify. Could you please repeat the question? Or could you please explain what you mean? Asking for clarification doesn't make you look stupid. It shows you want to understand correctly. And if you understand the question but need a moment to think, that's normal too. That's a good question. Let me think for a moment. A short pause is completely normal. Speaking too fast because you're nervous can make your answer harder to understand. If you're an English learner, remember, your goal isn't to sound like a native speaker. Your goal is to communicate your ideas clearly. Don't think, I need perfect English. Think, I need clear English. You can make a small grammar mistake and still give an excellent answer. You can have an accent and still sound professional. You can pause while thinking and still sound confident.
That's actually really comforting.
Good, because confidence doesn't mean you're never nervous. Confidence means, I'm nervous, but I can still do this. Let's review. Question 1, tell me about yourself. Keep it professional, talk about experience, skills, goals. Question 2, why do you want this job? Connect your skills and goals with the company. Question 3, what is your greatest weakness? Give a real weakness and show how you're improving. Question 4, what are your strengths? 1 or 2 strengths with a short example. Question 5, why are you leaving? Stay positive, focus on your future. Question 6, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Learning, growth, realistic goals. Question 7, tell me about a time you worked in a team. Use star. Question 8, a difficult person. Focus on how you stayed calm and solved the problem. Question 9, a mistake. Take responsibility, show what you learned. Question 10, adapting to change. Show you can stay flexible and learn.
That's a lot of questions.
Yes, but now you know something important. Most of these can be answered with a few simple techniques. You've learned the questions, the formulas, the useful phrases. But knowing the answer in your head isn't enough. You need to practice speaking. So right now, Michael and I are going to sit down for a complete mock job interview. I'll be the interviewer, Michael will be the candidate, and this time, I won't help him. No hints, no stopping, no corrections. And you'll have a chance to answer each question before Michael does.
Okay, now I'm nervous again.
Good. Let's see if you're ready. Okay, Michael. Are you ready?
I think so?
No, don't think. Just breathe. This is real interview practice. I'm going to ask you the questions one by one. And this time, I won't help you.
Okay, let's do it.
And for everyone watching, this is your chance too. When I ask a question, pause the video and answer out loud before you hear Michael's answer. Let's begin. Good morning, Michael. It's nice to meet you. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you. It's nice to meet you too. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today.
You're welcome. Let's start simple. Tell me about yourself.
I'm currently working in customer service, and I have about 3 years of experience helping customers and solving problems. I'm organized, friendly, and I enjoy working with people. I'm now looking for a new opportunity where I can use my experience, develop my skills, and grow professionally.
Good. That's a clear and professional answer. Now it's your turn. Tell me about yourself. Think about what you do, your experience, your skills, and what you're looking for. Answer out loud. Good. Let's continue. Why do you want to work for our company? I'm interested in this company because I like the work you do, and I think my skills are a good match for this position. I also like the opportunity to learn new things and work with an experienced team. I'm looking for a position where I can grow, contribute to the team, and build my career. Good answer. You connected your skills with the position and showed you're interested in growing. Your turn. Think about what the company does, what you like about them, and how your skills can help. Great. Remember, don't say, because I need a job. Show them why this job interests you. What is one of your greatest strengths?
One of my greatest strengths is communication. I enjoy working with people, listening carefully, and making sure problems are solved clearly and professionally. I'm also comfortable working as part of a team.
Good. And notice Michael didn't list 10 strengths. He chose one and explained it. What is one of your greatest strengths? Choose one and explain it with a short sentence. Excellent. Now let's make it a little harder. What is one of your greatest weaknesses?
Sometimes I focus too much on small details. I want to make sure everything is correct, so I can sometimes spend more time than necessary on one task. But I've been working on managing my time better and focusing on the most important priorities first.
That's a strong answer. A real weakness explained and improvement shown. Now you. Remember, weakness, what you're doing, improvement. Don't say, I don't have any weaknesses. Good job. Now imagine you've been at your current company for 3 years. Why are you considering leaving? I've learned a lot in my current position, and I'm grateful for the experience. However, I'm ready for a new challenge and an opportunity to develop my skills and take on more responsibility. When I saw this position, I felt it was a good next step for my career. Very good. Positive, short, professional. He didn't complain about his manager or his coworkers. He focused on his future. Your turn. Don't focus on what you hate. Focus on what you're looking for. Perfect. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? In 5 years, I hope to have developed strong skills in this field and taken on more responsibility. I'd like to continue learning, grow within the company, and eventually take on a leadership role. Good. That gives direction without sounding unrealistic. Now you. Think about learning, growth, more responsibility, leadership. Good. Now let's use the STAR method. Tell me about a time you worked as part of a team.
Sure. At my previous job, our team had to complete a large project within a short deadline. There were 5 people on the team, and we needed to organize the work carefully. I helped divide the tasks, communicated with my teammates, and made sure my part was completed on time. I also helped one of my coworkers when they were having difficulty. As a result, we completed the project on time, and our manager was happy with the final result.
Excellent. A complete STAR answer. Now, think of your own teamwork story. It doesn't have to be huge. What happened? What did you need to do? What did you do? And what was the result? Great. Tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult customer or coworker.
At my previous job, I had a customer who was very upset because their order was delayed. The customer was speaking loudly and wanted an immediate solution. I stayed calm and listened carefully to understand the problem. I apologized for the delay and explained the options I could offer. In the end, we found a solution, and the customer became much calmer.
Very good. You didn't attack the customer. You focused on your actions. Think of a difficult situation you've experienced. A customer, a coworker, a stressful project. Remember, stay calm, explain the problem, explain your action, give the result. Well done. Tell me about a time you made a mistake. At my previous job, I once made a small mistake in a report. I noticed the mistake before it caused a bigger problem. I told my manager, corrected the information, and sent the updated report. After that experience, I started using a checklist before sending important documents. It helped me become more careful and organized. Excellent. You didn't hide the mistake or blame someone else. You took responsibility and learned. Now you. Choose a manageable mistake. Then show what happened, how you fixed it, and what you learned. Good. Last question. Tell me about a time you had to adapt to a change. At my previous job, our company introduced a new computer system. At first, I wasn't familiar with it, so it took me longer to complete some tasks. I spent extra time practicing and asked my coworkers questions when I needed help. After a few weeks, I became comfortable using the system and was able to complete my work normally. The experience taught me that I can adapt quickly when I'm willing to learn. Excellent. The change was difficult at first, but you didn't complain, you learned, adapted, and improved. Okay, Michael, those are all my questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. Could you tell me more about the team I would be working with?
Absolutely. That's a great question. What else?
I'd also like to know what the first few months in this position would look like.
Excellent. And finally?
Could you tell me what the next steps in the hiring process are?
Perfect. Those are strong questions.
When the interviewer asks, "Do you have any questions for me?" always prepare at least 2 or 3. Never say, "No, I'm good." Useful ones. Could you tell me more about the team? What does a typical day in this position look like? What would success look like in this role? What are the next steps in the hiring process? Now, the interview is over. You can say, "Thank you for your time. It was great speaking with you." Or, "Thank you for the opportunity. I really enjoyed learning more about the position. I look forward to hearing from you."
So I shouldn't just say bye?
You can say goodbye, of course, but a professional closing sounds much better. You just practiced an entire job interview in English. A few key lessons. Keep your answers clear. You don't need complicated English. Give examples. Don't just say, "I'm a good team player." Show it. Use STAR for behavioral questions. Stay positive. Don't complain about your old company. Don't be afraid of pauses. Take a breath, think, then speak. Ask questions at the end. It shows you're interested. And finally, don't try to be perfect. Try to be clear, calm, and yourself. You don't need perfect English.
I just need clear English.
Exactly. If you make a small mistake, keep going. If you forget a word, take a breath. If you don't understand a question, ask them to repeat it. And if you feel nervous, remember, you're allowed to be nervous and still be confident.
That's a good reminder.
Your English is a skill, and skills improve with practice. So don't wait until you feel perfect. Start practicing today. Record yourself. Listen to your answers. Repeat them. Change them and practice again. Because the next time someone asks, "Tell me about yourself," you won't freeze. You'll know exactly where to start.
And maybe I'll even enjoy the interview.
That's the goal. So if you're preparing for a job interview in English, practice these questions out loud. Here's your challenge. Choose one interview question from today's lesson and answer it in the comments.
And don't worry about making mistakes.
Exactly. This is the Fluent Lounge. We're here to help you become more confident, one conversation at a time. If this lesson helped you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and send it to someone who has an interview coming soon.
Good luck with your interview.
You've got this. Take a deep breath, speak clearly, stay positive. And remember, your English doesn't have to be perfect to open the door to a great opportunity. This is the Fluent Lounge. See you in the next lesson. Bye.
Bye.